Hello everyone and welcome back to another Unfiltered Gamer Top 5 video, and it's been a while since I've done one of these, so I've decided it's time. And it's time to do a top 5 of the 5 games I have most bought expansions for. Or in other words, 5 guilty pleasure games of mine. Games that can be played just fine all on their own, their basic standard edition, and of course, the deluxeified version of having all the extra pieces and all the extra expansions. We'll go through each one of these titles one at a time, kind of covering a little bit about what they play like and why I like all the expansion content and why you should pick it up. And then afterwards, I want to know what games you think are best meant to have expansions. I feel like a lot of games do not need expansions. I purposely do not go out of my way to get a lot of expansions for games, but there are a few varieties of games where I pick each and every little expansion up because I am so involved in playing the games. Okay, let's cover them. So for number 5 on my list of games with expansions that you should pick up is Doomlings, a guide to the end of the world. Doomlings plays like 2 to 6 players, 20 to 45 minutes and ages 10 and up, but you can probably play more players if you really wanted to. This is of course the deluxeified box. It's going to come with a base game and all the deluxeified features, aka you're going to be getting play mats, and there's pins, there's sleeves, and a way to store everything as well. The base game of Doomlings is tiny. It's a small box game, and all you need is basically like there's a stack of like 150 cards, and you can play it anywhere on the go. It can fit into like a purse. This obviously is quite a lot more than what you would normally get for a base game. What would normally be picked up in a small aisle on the side of like an aisle. This is the big boy version of the game. And in fact, I have pretty much everything there is to get for Doomlings, minus the fact that they do have holographic cards and whatnot. So there's a light TCG element where you can purchase packs. Those packs always come with the same cards, but they come with unique holo foil cards of different varieties. The game is basically a tableau management game. You'll draw a number of cards in your hand. Every turn you will play a card, and at the end of your turn you will draft cards or pull cards out from the deck equal to the number of points that you have. And you start with 5, and that number can go up or down. And you're constantly just trying to create the best tableau possible, and each of the little cards are very simple. They're going to score you 1 to like 10 points a card, and they have different colors, and they interact with each other in different ways. And the idea is once all the rounds have been played and you've played as many cards as possible and as many of the strong dominant traits that represent your cards as possible, you'll just add up all the points and you're done. Play a card, draw cards to hand size, and your turn. New things happen from round to round, and then at the end of the game, after all the rounds have finished, you'll check to see how well you did, and if you have the most points, you're the winner. It's a really light game. Probably the lightest game that I play fairly consistently with new people. This is a great gateway game. It's a great tableau management game. It represents a lot of unique tableau managers all in one. It has a light TCG element where you're able to like pick up unique and interesting cards that not everybody's going to get, but also you're always going to be able to have the option to purchase all the basic cards for every single expansion that comes out. Each expansion that I have picked up comes with unique little aspects to change the game, whether it be little mechanings that kind of connect to each other, or traits that slide under other traits, or traits that kind of increase the value of the same trait. There is a wide variety of unique cards for these expansions that broaden the way the game is played and increase the complexity of the game. Yes, the game is never more complicated than a 5 out of 10 as far as complexity goes. However, in the base game, it's probably like a 2. It's really simple. Play a card, have it interact with something, and then pass. There's actions, there's unique little twists and turns, but with all the expansions comes a lot more variety and a lot more characters that kind of connect with the other cards and interact with the other players in the game. There are cards that well, it's not only a game of solitaire, which a lot of tableau managers feel, this one actually has that kind of exploding kittens feel. It's why Doomlings is so popular, because there's a lot of interaction. It's very simple, very easy to pick up, and very easy to understand the rules. More than 5 minutes to learn this game, it will not take. And so you're just going to get into playing a game of Doomlings. The games can run quickly if you're playing with a number of players who know how to play the game, but of course with more expansions comes more complexities and a little bit of a longer, more strategic game is to be had. I love the deluxe quality components and the option to go from a very basic box and just cards to all out with, I have like 7 playmats in here, I have all the expansions and all the extra sleeves. There's a bunch of stuff. This thing is gonna like come piling out if I didn't show you everything. But yes, Doomlings is a great gateway tableau management game. One of my favorites, if not my favorite tableau management game I have played in at least a decade now. I highly recommend you taking a look at it. Game number 4 on my list is from Ori Games or Lucky Duck Games. It is called It's a Wonderful World. It plays 1 to 5 players, but with the expansion, I believe it goes to 7. It plays 45 minutes and it's for ages 14 and up. It's a Wonderful World is another tableau game, but it's different. It is a drafting tableau game, whereas opposed to in Doomlings, where you're just simply drawing cards and playing a card out every turn and passing and just scoring up. This one here, you start with a number of cards, pick 1, pass 1, pick 1, pass 1, and you do that for your whole hand. Then you play cards, and as you play cards, you'll be kind of stacking them on top of each other as long as you're able to pay for them, and the more you pay for, the more resources that you gain with each of these cards. These cards are going to give you value, and depending on who has the most value, every single round is going to determine who gets valuable victory points. There's points to be had when you play cards, there's points to be had when you are comboing off at the end of the game, and there's endgame victory points on these unique cards. There's also unique different players that you can play as that start you off with different resources, and rounds are very, very flowy. They feel good. Playing the cards feels good, combining the cards feels good, and there's always something to do. And if you can't do something, there's a way to gain resources by removing cards from your hand. If you like something that's definitely deeply strategic and a tableau management game that has a beautiful drafting mechanic involved, then It's a Wonderful World is for you. I've discussed this game before. Additionally, there's of course expansions, right? You have this It's a Wonderful World Corruption and Ascension, which just adds more Wonderful World to your gameplay. But then you have the secret stuff, or the War and Peace expansion. These are War and Peace, Peace or War. Basically, these guys here are kind of like the legacy addition to It's a Wonderful World. Now you're going to be getting packs for each individual unique scenario. I went through pretty much all of them except for like 2. And they kind of change the game up. They add new elements to the game, they add new boards, and so it presents this legacy mechanic that as you play, you add new stuff to the game, and when you're finished going through it all, you can kind of select which portions of the game modes that you'd like to play with. Each individual scenarios also kind of add additional ways to play that change from round to round, so you're never actually going to play the same way for each scenario, and you're probably not going to use those little extra additional rules in the main game when you finish. You're just going to get extra cards and a few extra rules that are associated with those cards, so you get a full base game even with all the expansions, but it's the method in which you play from each scenario that makes it so much fun. I, as you can tell, like tableau management games. I like engine builders and resource management, and this gives me the best of all 3 of those worlds. The quality is great, the feel is great, the ending feels good. It always feels like there's not enough that you can do. You never can fully complete what it is you want to do. You're always, I wish I could do this much more, and that's a good feeling for the next time that you play. If you play this game as just a standard base game, you're going to jump in and play again. If you want to pick up the expansions, it's just going to provide you with additional It's a Wonderful World, but then when you pick up the unique one, the War or Peace one, this one is going to provide you with kind of that legacy style, which is my favorite of the expansions. There's not as many expansions in this one as the rest of these games on this list, but I am going to definitely say this is a guilty pleasure. Whenever they come out with, or if they ever come out with any more expansions for It's a Wonderful World, I'm going to pick it up because I really, really love more It's a Wonderful World. Yep. Okay, my last tableau management game, I promise. Okay, so my next guilty pleasure for number 3 is called Bullet. It's a shoot 'em up puzzle action game by Level 99. Bullet plays like Puzzle Bobble meets Tetris Attack on a board game. The idea is you're going to be getting a board, and on that board, little circles are going to fall, little bubbles are going to fall with different unique symbols on them, and you're going to have a unique character where you're going to play the character's cards and attempt to remove those bubbles. And as more fall, they'll start simply filling up and clogging your board up until the point where they hit the bottom of your board. And when they do that, they will go to your life. And if it fills up your life bar, you're out of the game. Bullet is a simple game in nature where you're drafting bullets from a bag at random, playing them on your game board, and using cards as long as possible in order to remove those bullets and give them to your opponents. But this game doesn't just play in a kind of competitive mode where I'm getting rid of mine to give to you to eventually clog your board so that I can win. There's also a competitive variant of the game and a cooperative variant of the game where you can work together to fight against bosses. What are the bosses? Literally every character in the game, and there's over 100 characters. Each character has not only the main bullet board, but also its special ability board. So you have like your character board and your ability board, and on the back you can flip it over and you have your boss board and the boss abilities. And so you have unique characters that represent unique challenges that you can work through with your allies as you play the game. And with such a variety of different characters, you're never going to get bored of this game. Each character feels uniquely different in a lot of ways. Some of them are much harder, some of them are much easier to play, and they have kind of their strengths and weaknesses, where one might be very difficult. If you can master it, it might be better than an easier one, whereas the easier one, you're guaranteed to know how the combos work and how to remove the bullets on your side of the game board. Bullet presents a unique challenge in both cooperative and competitive mode and presents a lot of expanded options. There's also unique promo characters, which I have quite a few of. I don't think I even have all of Bullet here. I have a star, I have heart, I have orange, and paw, and palette. I got as many of these guys as I can, as well as, of course, the deluxe upgrade for the bullets. If I were you, with like any of these games, you don't need the expansions to enjoy them. These are all solid recommendations for me in my top 50 list at least. And the only thing I would say with this game is you do need to have the deluxeified tokens, in my opinion. The chintzy little cardboard tokens are not good enough. They do not feel as nice. I want the upgrade. And once you have the upgrade, you will enjoy the game multiplied by 2, which is kind of insane to say that just an upgrade like that, but it does make a difference how it feels and how easy it is to move on your board, and the sliding, that hand to hand, that combative nature you have with your hands on the board. I don't know, it's a tactile feel, what can I say? But that's what you need. The base game, or any of the base games, and the deluxe upgrade for just the tokens. But I like Bullet quite a bit, and so I've picked up everything, so I can play all the different unique characters that all function in their own unique way. Got to spoil some characters back in the day for them, and I've got to enjoy some of the games prior to release just to try them out. And I've enjoyed each and every one of them. I've mixed and combined all of them, and they all work together. And so if you like the base game of Bullet, you'll eventually probably want to get all of it, but you don't need to. I just really enjoy this type of puzzle, bobble, Tetris attacks game that kind of fits on a board that plays really well with other people. I know some people in my friend group do not like this game, so it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but if you like games that feel like Tetris and Puzzle Bobble, and you like a competitive or cooperative experience, both of them are very challenging, whether you're playing against other players, making it very nasty because players will start messing with you. It's a very aggressive game in that way, or a very cooperative and thinky game when it comes to playing in the working together cooperative mode. You're going to enjoy this. And just the fact that all the characters feel so different, where if you don't like some of them, you will eventually find one that you really do love. And once you fall in love with that character, you're going to want to play even more Bullet. All right, it's time for number 2. And number 2 on my list is Space Base by John DeClaire. It's the command station, which basically just means that it's the big box that holds all the things. In this box, I have Shy Pluto and all the other expansions that have been presented, at least as far as I'm aware. And Space Base plays like Machi Koro. It just destroys that game, though, and I don't play it anymore. I've never played Machi Koro since I've owned Space Base, and even though I have a lot of Machi Koro, this game is just a lot more fun to me. Well, what is Machi Koro and Space Base? Is a game where you're rolling dice, and then based on what you roll, you will use abilities of the cards presented on your board. And these cards are the little square cards here that are gonna go in certain slots. It'll tell you what number it goes into. You'll start with a basic set of 12 cards, and then over time you will buy more. If you roll a 1, it'll tell you on the card what you get, like a money, or do you get a victory point, etc., etc. And in addition to not only when you roll on your turn, but whenever anybody rolls on their turn, based on the cards that you have purchased previously, cards that are going to be kind of slid up in the top portion of your game board, you will get or might get bonus actions. Maybe you're going to get victory points or coins, or you'll start with a number of coins early. And so it is a game that you're playing even when it's not your turn, and you're setting up for combos. They're going to affect not only when you play on your turn, which will be different cards, opposed to what your opponents are going to be playing on their turn. This is an engine building game. This is all about gathering resources based on the cards that you have and making choices, because when somebody rolls a 2 and a 5, you can choose to take your 2 value and your 5 value of maybe a coin and a coin, or to combine them and make it 7. Maybe your 7 gives you 3 coins, and so you'll take that instead. You have those options in the game, whether it be on your turn or your opponent's turn. With each expansion comes unique little variables that change the game up, adding new dice and new cards and new ways to play the game. This is definitely one of those games where the expansion does change things. It's not just more of the same, and in fact there's going to be a little bit of more of the same. They give you more cards, right? But there's unique abilities with those cards, and there's also things like extra dice. You'll see unique little rolly dice that get added to the cards here, and the ways you purchase cards, etc., etc. This is a game that starts off a little slow, and it ramps, and then you're pushing really hard. It's a neck and neck game up until the finish, and players are going to be purchasing certain unique cards that will close out their board at the end of the game to score even more bonus points. If you love Machi Koro and games that involve engine building, then Space Base will be for you. While this game is a little bit more on the solo side, as far as you're not really affecting your opponents all that much, what you are doing is picking cards and taking them from those players so that they can't get them, and then trying to determine what dice the players that are playing after you are going to roll. Obviously, higher numbers, like 7, are going to be more likely, and so going for those options will give you the choice. And obviously the cards that are more challenging to roll are going to be more powerful for you. I love Space Base. I love all the expansions. I love the innovative aspect to the expansions, having kind of a small legacy feel where you start adding more and more to the game until you add it all to the game box. With the expansions comes additional players, so you can play, I believe, like up to 8 players, but the base game plays 4. But it's been a game that I have seen come hit the table over and over again. Now, obviously, I will give you I don't know what you want to call it, just a bias alert, where I do know the designer is a friend of mine, but I have played this game consistently throughout the years this has been out, over and over and over again, and I've never gotten bored. It's a game that I'll never remove from my collection because I enjoy it that much, and if you're interested in something like this, I think this is going to be the one and final game you'll pick up that involves engine building like this. And now we come to our number 1 on the list, Mystic Vale by John DeClaire and AEG. This game is a deck building / card crafting game, and it's also a push your luck game. You'll be getting a deck of cards that are mainly blank, with maybe one of the 3 sections on the card, top, bottom, and middle, filled in. Normally speaking, those sections are going to give you a currency when you play them, and sometimes they'll give you a sad tree, not a happy tree like Bob Ross, but a sad one. And if you get a number of those, then you're gonna bust, like the game 21 or Blackjack, right? So what you do is you flip these cards over, and as you flip them over, you gain value, and after a number of sad trees pop out, you'll bust. So you have to be careful and stop at a certain point in time. Use the currency you get before you bust to purchase cards. If you bust, you basically get nothing. You'll flip over a token that will give you a currency for the next round if you don't already have it flipped. And you'll take those cards that you've gained, put them into the cards that you have played, thusly making your cards stronger. You're crafting cards. You don't get additional cards in the game, you get to craft the cards you already currently have to make them better, to create an engine with them. And that engine will build up into the point where you have a full deck of cards that have multiple different portions of them that fill in and basically complete the cards that you have to make them extra strong. Additionally, with the game, you're going to be getting unique things called Vales. These are permanent effects that function like Magic the Gathering's enchantments, where they stay on the field and grant you benefits or bonuses as you gain them. And the rounds continue simultaneously, mind you, up until a certain number of points has been reached. We all are going to basically be flipping our cards over, playing 21, then determine who's busted or not. Each player in turn order will buy cards, whether it be Vales or more cards to craft with, and then rinse and repeat until all the points in the pool are gone. And that's Mystic Vale for you in a nutshell. And this, I have basically the Conclave, which comes with literally everything in the game. It's going to come with all not all the expansions, but you can fit all the expansions in here, which I have done. I've purchased literally all the expansions for Mystic Vale, which I have somewhere around here, but there are quite a few expansions for the game. And while the expansions don't bring a whole lot of nuance to the game or unique mechanics, there are a lot of cards that add a bunch to the game. There's like the event kit and the conclave. All the expansions come in a small box and have these little rule booklets with them. And I also have the wooden insert for the game as well. While this game presents probably the weakest when it comes to unique mechanical aspects, each of them do present a new aspect for each expansion. One might present you with being able to play as a specific character, making your deck change a little bit or give you a passive ability. Another might change your bust token into an amulet that now does something unique for each and every player. Others are going to include cards that instead of being 3 different sections, it'll be 2 sections or a full section of a card, like basically buying a whole entire card. Or maybe it's an overlay that goes over or under certain portions of cards that change the way the game is played. So each expansion comes with a kind of unique little aspect to it that changes how you play Mystic Vale. But the reason why I picked them all up is because more Mystic Vale is always better. The base game is great, but after I've gone through a number of combinations and played the game quite a bit, I started to figure out what is best and what is like kind of the right way to kind of build based on the layout that is available, because there's like a shop that you can purchase cards from. With all the expansions now, every time I pull the game out and play with people, it's always a random assortment of cards, and I never can like fully get a grasp on. I kind of have an idea what's the best, like, okay, this is a better card than this one at this point in time for my specific deck structure, but never a full plan going in. And so it feels more fluid, and I really enjoy that about this game. I love card crafting / deck building. I love engine building, which is this entire game. I love the solitary aspect of the game where we don't really interact with each other all that much when it comes to our decks, but when it comes to what we purchase and how we choose to purchase them and when we choose to purchase them, it changes how the gameplay is done. And the fact that you can play your turns simultaneously is also a huge win for the game. It's a game I'll keep around for pretty much the rest of my life. It's a game that I've never really not wanted to play, and I've played it with a number of players, and everybody has seemed to enjoy the game Mystic Vale. If you like deck building, deck construction games with a heavy dose of engine building and a light kind of push your luck aspect to it, then this is going to be the game for you. Highly recommend it. Love all the expansions. It is a great game overall. So there you go, 5 games with the full-on expansions for all of them. And they all have unique styles of the expansions and why I enjoy them. For the simple reason, for Mystic Vale, meaning more card variety means I don't have a full clear grasp on what I want to do during the game, which gives me a more wide and ample opportunity to kind of build my deck and engine and learn based on what's available to me. Space-based, presenting with unique ideas and twists and turns with each expansion, and numerous mechanics that make the game different and more fun, and being able to switch and set them aside or play with them if I'd like, and a huge player count. Doomlings is just all around satisfactory, enjoyable. It's a wonderful little game that works simply with all players. It's a game that you can pull in or pull out the expansions as you need, and of course with more expansions comes a little bit more strategy, but overall the game is just a soft spot for me. It's a game that fits anywhere. I can play with anybody at any time, and I can play it in a small box and bring it somewhere, or I can play with the big box and all the deluxe components. It's a wonderful world. It's got the legacy component to it, has unique little secret hidden aspects to it. It's got the expanded content that just adds more engine building to it, and just an overall excellent game. Like, It's a Wonderful World is just a really fun engine builder, and so having just more of it is just a good thing. And then finally, Bullet. Bullet, while each of the expansions is just more Bullet. You're getting new characters, you're getting new cards, you're getting new bosses, and that's pretty much what you're getting. But the complexity and addition of each individual character presenting its own unique deck and play style and structure feels unique to the game, as well as each of the bosses with their own difficulties and challenges, presenting their own uniqueness to them, kind of making the game feel unique each and every time you play based on the characters that you play with. And there being, I think, at least over 100 different characters that you can play with in the game, you're going to have at least 100 games to enjoy, and after never having played a specific character, and that's a really cool aspect. And not only that, but like each character that you fight against, how you fight them and how you kind of utilize your skills against them and when, presents with unique challenges as well. So Bullet and Mystic Vale are those games that are never ever going to see the same game more than once. You're never going to even likely see the same deck more than once if you play this game, because unless you play 100 times, you're going to experience a different gameplay style for each of the different characters. These are 5 games I really enjoyed with unique expanded content and just kind of a love for each of the games, which has presented me with wanting to buy each and every one of the expansions. For most of them, you don't need to buy the expansions. You can have the base game for Mystic Vale and Space Base and be just fine. Doomlings as well is probably the most simple. Just grab the base game first, and if you're really into it, you can grab more. And it's a wonderful world. If you're not looking for a legacy aspect to the game, maybe just go the first expansion or the base game, and then Bullet. Bullet is just more Bullet. I love more bullets, so I want more bullet. And of course the bullet cubed that's coming out is gonna have all the bullets that I have here in my other boxes, because I can't fit all of my stuff in one box right now. So I've got extra bullet lying around. But when I do get that, I'll put it all in here as well, and I'll have my 5 favorite games with expansions. Most games don't need expansions, and these ones probably don't either, but I'm just gonna say that they do because I love them so much. Thank you guys for watching another Unfiltered Gamer Top 5 video for the games Mystic Vale, Space Base, Bullet, It's a Wonderful World, and Doomlings. You've probably seen them in other content on my other videos if you've been watching me. And if not, here's a fresh take on some of these games and whether or not you should pick up them and the expansions. I didn't illustrate a huge amount of stuff in them because I want you to go ahead and look at the other videos and content or from other creators or see playthroughs or just pick it up and try it for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button, blah, 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 blah. You know what every YouTuber does. It's really annoying, but it does greatly help us out, continues to make us want to make more videos. And if you would like, you can watch some of our live stream content at 6:30 p.m. PST where we play these games live. In fact, we played at least all of these games once live. And they're really, really solid content for you to watch. I think you'll get a kick out of them. And it's a good idea to watch a video and how a game is played before you choose to buy it. It's like try before you buy, watch before you buy. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, I look forward to discussing some more top 5s with you because it's been a while. Next time.